Hello, everybody. Today, a new basically update has just hit old school RuneScape with some pretty massive changes to the Scythe and the Fang. Two of the strongest melee weapons. The Fang will be receiving a nerf. The Scythe will be receiving a buff. This has all been pulled in Project Rebalance. It's just that these are the kind of first two changes making its way to live with the update basically this morning. So plain and simple, let's just cover exactly what it is. A Smumtum's Fang will only benefit from its passive effects when using the stab attack style. So if you've been using it on slash, that's not going to work anymore. And we'll talk about kind of the ramifications of this after. I just want to go over the exact patch notes real quick. The Scythe Avitter will be getting plus 15 slash accuracy. It's a slash weapon, so it's just a little bit more accurate. In addition, this is kind of massive. The Scythe will also only cost 1 vial of blood and 200 blood runes for 100 charges, down from 300 blood runes. So actually using the Scythe will be a little bit cheaper. You're not going to be spending as many blood runes to sustain the empowered version of the Scythe. In addition, Scythe charges are only used when rolling at least one hit above a 0. This way, if you're hitting a 0, you're missing, it's not actually going to go ahead and consume a charge. Basically, all this means is that actually using the Scythe in its empowered format is just going to be a lot cheaper. So I guess there's a lot more incentive. It's a lot more value to go ahead and use that if you're using it for endgame bosses. Whereas before, it was very expensive just to even use the Scythe, and that would kind of cut into your profits even if you were killing it faster. The Fang has kind of been a all-around purpose weapon basically since its release, but with Desert Treasure 2, we also saw this weapon not only being used as a stab, but also as a slash weapon, mainly for Duke and Vardorvis. Now, if you don't know, the Fang has a passive where it will actually roll accuracy twice, and if either of those accuracy rolls win, then the hit happens. And this worked for either stab or slash, and this just made it just insanely good. Basically, any time a monster had a reasonable defense level, it was just an insane weapon. So with this change, you're only going to be getting that bonus as a stab weapon, so it's not going to be that good anymore anytime where you want to be using slash. Again, this is namely going to be for Duke Succulus and Vardorvis, which were two bosses that the Fang was exceptional at by using it in the slash style, which didn't really make sense, but it was still really, really good there. Now, I don't know how good Fang is going to end up with these changes, but I would imagine it's going to be pretty damn bad if you're not using it as a stab weapon. Anytime it's a stab weapon, it's still going to be phenomenal. It's still going to be great inside of Tombs of a Masket, so don't worry about that. But for Vardorvis, if you are planning on doing that, consider using a Soul Reaper axe. The new and improved Scythe is also going to be a good option, or a Blade of Saildor has a lot better accuracy. It's a slash weapon. And if you're doing Duke, the Scythe is going to be a great option there. It's really, I think it's just going to be the best weapon, bar none. It's got a lot more accuracy, which was Duke was a pretty tanky boy. On top of that, you could also be using a Soul Reaper axe, just like Vardorvis. And if you don't have that, Arclight will also be a good option for Duke Succulus, as he does count as a demon, so you're going to be getting the Demon Bane effect. Now, for the Scythe, this has always been the, I guess, worst of the 3 mega rares from the raids. It's always kind of received a little bit less love, whereas the Twisted Bow and the Shadow have kind of been incredibly dominant in a lot of different combat styles. The Scythe has always kind of struggled a bit, and one of those biggest things has been its lack of accuracy. So basically any monster that was tanky really, really struggled. I don't know the exact DPS calculations for every single monster. That's all probably going to come out over time, exactly where things change. But the 15 slash accuracy, it won't really help much for low defense bosses. But for something like General Grador, they're saying it's about 7% higher. So, that should help quite a bit. It should definitely be, I think, the ideal slash weapon anytime you're fighting a big boss. So yeah, hopefully that's how it works out as far as math goes. In addition, the charges for using the Scythe are just going to be a lot cheaper. Again, 100 blood rune discount. And also, if you do have a Scythe, you may want to try to uncharge it and get the full amount back and then recharge it. I think you'll actually end up getting a rebate if you charged it before. So let's say you had 1,000 charges there, you should get some blood runes back, if that makes sense. And not only are the charges cheaper, but again, because you're only getting the charge actually consumed when a Scythe rolls a hit. That means that if you're missing and stuff like that, you're going to be preserving those charges. So in general, using the Scythe should be a lot cheaper, and I really hope that this just makes the Scythe kind of the best option anytime you want to be using melee. More accuracy means it's actually going to be good against bosses. It really struggled against defense bosses, and also those defense bosses are also the ones where you tend to miss the most, and it really sucks just burning through your charges on tanky bosses and stuff like that. But again, Fang will still be a great alternative basically everywhere except for Duke and Vardorvis in raids and stuff like that. It's going to be a very nice, cheap alternate if you don't have the Scythe. It probably will beat the Scythe in a lot of cases too, if I'm being perfectly honest. In addition, the rest of Project Rebalance, so I think some of the things in regards to like Void Waker and stuff like that, I don't know all of the balance stuff for the exact patch notes. That's all going to be coming out down the line. But for today, we get the Fang and the Scythe. Now, does this mean, panic sell your Fang? No, I don't think so. I think Fang is still going to be a great weapon. It's still an all-around weapon, and even if it goes down slightly, I think it's still going to preserve its value. It's a pretty cheap weapon. I do expect Scythe to go up in value a decent amount, so you might want to get your hand on a Scythe now. I imagine that's actually going to go up in price because this is I would consider this to be a pretty substantial buff for the Scythe. So I'm excited to see exactly where the numbers end up kind of landing at. As always, guys, good luck. Hopefully you guys have a Scythe on hand. Good luck trying it out on a lot of new bosses and stuff like that. I'm really excited to, the Scythe's getting a lot of love because that really has been, I think, the lost child of the Mega Rares for a long time. And it's about time. It's about time we see some more people using Scythe. Using the Fang on Slash has just been kind of dumb. So I'm glad that changes. I really like these rebalances, and hopefully we see more soon. All right, that's it. See you guys later.